I've been detached from the species long before we decided fear was going to be the dominant factor in commerce and public life. Take Italy, for example. A nation of pedophiles with shiny cars and nice clothes. I knew they were going to be irrelevant the second Sebastian Manis cuckhole, that glittery bombshell of a comedian, became an emblem of Italian American culture. Ever since the Mafia got busted by the FBI in the 80s for building violations, we've had pecker bumps like Rudy Giuliani, Dr. Fauci, and Ray Romano slowly diluting our Italian American pride. Real Italian delis have been replaced by Olive Garden microwaves as the once strong coalitions built on omerta quickly sold out to become the butt boys of the Northern European upper class. This is only natural, of course, when you realize that Mediterranean countries are literally the most fucked nations in all of human history. The Catholic Church is perhaps the most egregious example of wealth inequality, hypocrisy, and crimes against humanity. Anyone still towing the line for that organization should be forced to self-immolate. There are plenty of other false temples like it, of course, all over the world. And when one of these organizations gets into a scandal, or there's a casualty, or a PR mishap, or a glory hole, I get excited. I like seeing society crumble. I thrive in chaos. What I don't approve of is people like Klaus Schwab, head of the World Economic Forum, trying to play God and control the collapse. Schwab is not a genius. He's just a shisty German who happened to be in the right place at the right time to tell us, to instruct international corporate entities what their employees and people they control can and can't do, which places we can go to, how many shots we'll have to take, and Americans love to complain about all of this, complain about how their freedoms are slowly being taken from them, but they're so insatiated with $10 consumer products that they'll snore away as the rich rob billions and billions of dollars from their communities daily. And then what do? They put it on the government tab and blame it on you, the taxpayer, while they don't pay any taxes at all. Very simple scam, works every time. Now, I reject all labels. I like anarchy, I like certain ideas, but to call myself an anarchist would be to accept a social order, ironically. So I like ideas, but I don't attach myself to them. I like human beings individually, one at a time for the most part. I've never been in an organized group of people and found any fun in it unless I get to have a say in what's going on. Usually, the bigger the group, the shittier it is. I'll say always. I've never been in a large group of people and who I didn't already know and have found a way to thrive within that. And I'm not sure why this is. Schools, churches, political groups, charities, they have all failed miserably. And it's only when we accept that we can have progress. And all they've ever done is made the founders rich off the backs of cheap, or in many cases, free labor. And people agree to this labor because they're fucking stupid. Most people are genetically predisposed to be fucking stupid. And this is where I actually found myself aligning with the globalist depopulation agenda. I think we're saving way too many lives in general. Healthcare is now being seen as a luxury for the elites in other countries besides America. Well, in America, of course, this has been the reality for quite some time. One doctor visit can run up quite a hefty premium. So if you're about the hustle, you might turn to drug dealing or other illegal activity just to dodge the tax man and put food on the table. And the only way I can fight this system personally and collectively is by thinking bigger. This is the key to survival. If you ain't multiplying, you're dying. That's the human condition. I am not a perfect person. I'm not as healthy as I could be, and in the coming months I am seeking to repair this to the best of my ability. but on my own terms, as with everything else, including my education. The biggest fallacy in our society is that it's safer with the system than without. And time again, that has been proven false. Most people become slaves to usury, drugs, alcohol, gambling, and other low-level scams that don't build wealth for the user, but only serve to enrich the elites even further. One of the biggest scams is the idea of wages. If you can put an amount of fiat currency on an hour of your time, you are a slave. No ifs, ands, or buts. You are volunteering for indentured servitude just to stay afloat. It is true that investments are the key to financial freedom. Many capitalists will tell you this, but watch out. Some of them are quite convincing con artists and will only deceive you into another low-level scam. As the world collapses, the only thing that angers me is my inability to conduct business in other societies. I am grateful to be in one of the biggest and most diverse countries in the world, but I don't think it's good enough in order to get to a positive globalism. I am for open borders. I think everybody should be allowed to move wherever they want, and social adjustments can be made naturally. I understand the concern of people who say, well, we don't want swaths of another country coming here if they're just going to rape and pillage. And my response is, what has your people done? What has your culture promoted? The very same things. Imprisonment, incarceration, hating your neighbor instead of your actual oppressor. And the only reason that these immigrants are coming here is because of government. Not a lack of it. It is government that is driving them away. Some people may chalk this up to climate concerns as well, and I have yet to examine this in further detail. But it is my belief that open borders are the only antidote to the world ID system that the New World Order is trying to push, which is now prevalent in many countries and is now being tested in America in many cities, including Chicago, where I live. As an atheist, I can't suggest you turn to religion because that again takes you on an adventure into scam territory, but I can suggest a mindset of detachment, that even if your plans don't work out the way you want them to, you can always sit back and enjoy the show.